Hello, let us now study about the infratemporal fossa. Infratemporal fossa is that region of the fossa lying below the temporal bone. So, the fossa which is below the temporal bone somewhat here. So, to understand better, I am removing the mandible for convenience. Now, I would like to say this is the infratemporal fossa. Is it clear? So, this fossa contains very important structures and it boundaries of it are anteriorly in front, you see, in front this is posterior border of posterior surface of body of maxilla. Medially, if you see this one you are seeing, no, medially this is lateral surface of lateral pterygoid plate and pyramidal process of palatine bone. Laterally, it will be the ramus of the mandible. If you hold it in position with the ramus intact, so the inner surface, laterally it should be the inner surface of the ramus of the mandible, and the roof is formed by the infratemporal surface of the greater wing of the sphenoid bone. Infratemporal surface of the greater wing of the sphenoid bone forms the roof. The contents in this fossa are, we have many contents like it can be muscles, it can be veins, it can be arteries, it can be nerves, etc. So, the contents, if I go with the muscles, all the muscles of the mastication are the contents except for the masseter. Masseter is the one which lies outside the mandible, and the remaining three muscles of mastication, that is the temporalis, the medial pterygoid, the lateral pterygoid muscle, all these three are the contents. Similarly, if you see the arteries, the contents are, if you see the arteries are, it is the maxillary artery. Which part of the maxillary artery? The first part, second part, and one branch of the third part. So, the maxillary artery is divided into three parts by lateral pterygoid muscle. So, there are 5 branches from the first part, there are 4 branches from the second part. All these are the contents, and there are 6 branches, of which only one, that is the posterior superior alveolar artery, becomes the content of the infratemporal fossa. Coming to the veins here, the contents are maxillary vein, pterygoid venous plexus, posterior superior alveolar vein, maxillary vein, pterygoid venous plexus, posterior superior alveolar vein. And the nerves, if you see, there is a ganglion called as otic ganglion, and not only that, the mandibular nerve and its branches, the chorda tympani nerve, the maxillary nerve, and posterior superior alveolar nerve. All these are the contents. After the contents, let us know its communications. The communications are, see, if this is an infratemporal fossa, it is communicating with orbit by this one. You are seeing, you can see here. It is communicating with orbit by inferior orbital fissure. Is it clear? Similarly, it is communicating through this fissure, it communicates deep inside with pterygopalatine fossa, and this fissure is pterygomaxillary fissure, because this is maxilla, this is pterygoid plate. The fissure between the two is pterygomaxillary fissure. Through this fissure, it communicates with the pterygopalatine fossa above. Superiorly, it communicates above with the temporal fossa, because superolaterally it is open. Superiorly or superomedially, it is infratemporal surface of the greater wing of the sphenoid which is forming the boundary, but this portion is open, through that it communicates with this fossa here, temporal fossa, and inferiorly it communicates with the oral cavity. So, this is all about the infratemporal fossa. Thank you.